How's it going, guys? This is Win and welcome back to another video. Today I have an awesome video for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at the top 8 cards which I think are the absolute wrong rarity in Clash Royale. I think Supercell goofed when they made these cards. They made these epics that should have been rares, or they made commons that should have been rares, legendaries that shouldn't be legendary, and I want to take a look at my top 8 cards in my opinion, which I think are really wrong in terms of their rarity. But first I want to point out, as you guys hopefully have noticed, I am recording on my brand new Sony Alpha 5100 mirrorless DSLR camera, not this crappy little webcam that I've been using for the last year and a half. But no, guys, I have a real legitimate camera, and I hope you can tell the quality is a lot nicer. And of course, guys, if you go to the link in the description below, I will be giving one of these cameras away absolutely. I'm just kidding. I'm not giving a camera away. I'm too broke. But anyway, guys, let's get right into the video. We are going to start off rounding out the bottom of our list at number 8. We have the Royal Giant. Now, this card is the most obvious offender of this rarity issue, and you can look at the regular Giant, which is a rare. Now, this is the thing that I always say, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Take a look at the Giant. He's a regular tank, he's very slow, and he only does melee damage, and he's a rare. Alright, that's all he does. He's a very simple card. He's the most basic tank that you could have in a game. Now you take the royal iteration, the royal version of the Giant, who has a cannon. He shoots the tower from 6.5 squares away, and he still has a ton of health. Now, why is that a common? It's not even the same as the Giant. The Royal Giant is worse. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me whatsoever. So I think the Royal Giant should go from a common up to a rare to at least be on par with his less royal brethren, the regular Giant. It doesn't make much sense to me at all why he's a common. He can be leveled up a lot faster. He still has a ton of hit points, and he can shoot from far away, and he doesn't even get distracted. He doesn't shoot other troops. He only goes straight for your tower, straight for those buildings. It's kind of crazy to me that he has all these special characteristics, but he still maintained like a ton of hit points. He's super tanky. I think when you look at cards like the Bowler's a good example of you take a tank and then you give him a unique characteristic like the bowling ball, the pushback, that kind of stuff. You add something special, but then they took away a lot of his hit points. He doesn't have as many hit points as the Giant because he has this other special mechanic. Now you give the Royal Giant special mechanics, but you kept him having a ton of hit points. That doesn't seem to add up. Now I wanted to talk about the Royal Giant a lot in detail because one of the specific attributes of this whole video is that if a card has more, he should go up in rarity, from a common to a rare. I think that's because he's more special than where he's at currently. Or if a card, let's say, should go down, I think that's because he's like less special. He doesn't have as many unique characteristics that make him an epic or a legendary. He should go down a little bit. Now that same theme you're going to see for all the other cards. I just wanted to explain it up front because the Royal Giant is the most applicable, I think, to that certain characteristic. Now if you want to see another example, I have the Hog Rider second on our list, number 7 of our top 8 cards. The Hog Rider is unique in the fact that he has the thing that no one else in the game has. He has very fast movement speed, and he goes straight for the building. There's no other card like that besides the battle ram, but even the battle ram takes time to charge up and get going, and then once the drops the ram, the 2 barbarians, they get distracted. They hit goblins and skeletons and archers. They don't go straight for your tower anymore. So it's really easy to distract the battle ram, and the battle ram also can get zapped and get reset. You can't reset the Hog. He's going to keep going super fast even after you zap him. So I think the Hog Rider, even though he's a rare, he should be an epic. Now that doesn't actually nerf him. It just kind of changes him a little bit, makes him a little harder to level up because of that higher rarity. Plus, he should get that rarity that he deserves. He's a special card, he is unique, he goes really fast, and he goes straight for your tower. He should at least be an epic. Now if you guys understand the whole tournament standard aspect of the game, certain cards will have, the same as other rarities. So let me explain. For example, you have level 13 commons max, level 11 rares max, level 8 epics, and level 5 legendaries. What that means is a level 5 legendary is going to be about the same as a level 13 common. So at the end of the day, the Hog Rider won't be getting much of a nerf because a level 8 Hog Rider, if he's an epic, is the same as that level 11 Hog Rider as a rare. It's the same thing. I think he just needs a little bit more tweaking to make him a little easier and more palatable on ladder. Same with the Royal Giant. If he's a common, and a Hog Rider's only a rare, they're going to get leveled up so fast. They're going to get so overpowered. They need to get stepped up in their rarity so that it's a little more manageable for people to play, a little bit harder for him to level up, and just not as overpowered where you're going to see higher level maxed out Royal Giants and Hog Riders before you even have any of your own cards maxed. So I think, like I said, Royal Giant's going to be rare. Hog Rider should be an epic. Now those are the two cards I hope you would agree with me the most. Some of these other cards are going to be a little bit more controversial, and hopefully you'll see why as we get into the last 4 cards, which are actually going to be all step down in rarity. All these first 4 ones, like the Royal Giant and the Hog Rider, they are all step up in rarity. So this next one I have is the Tornado. Tornado is currently an epic, but like the Hog Rider, it's very unique. It's the only card that has this ability to just pull and manipulate where troops are in the arena. No other card can do that. The only other cards that even remotely come close to moving your opponent's troops are the Log and the Bowler, and they just have a little bit of a pushback. It's not a lot, but the Tornado can absolutely drag any card around. If your opponent puts a giant down in the right lane, you say, nope, I want him in the left lane. Drag him all the way over to that left lane, and he starts going the other way. No other card can do that in this game. So I think that the Tornado should be a legendary. We only have one legendary spell, and that's the Log. And honestly, the Log isn't any more special than the Tornado. It does ground damage. It does a little bit of damage to the tower. Now, that's the only, I think, advantage the Log has over Tornado. But the Tornado, it does damage to troops. It can kill bats, kill skeletons, does a significant amount of damage to minions, and it can pull them all around. In fact, you can cluster everything up and just hit it with a wizard or an ice wizard, anything that does splash, and that is completely annihilated. So the Tornado is such a versatile, high skill level card that I think it should be our second legendary spell, moving up from that epic spot where it is right now. 4th on the list, we have a building. We have the Tesla. Now, the Tesla is a common. I think the Tesla should be a rare. First of all, it's the only card in the game that can hide and be immune, absolutely immune to damage when it's hiding underground. You can't fireball it, you can't poison it, you can't even zap it. You can only damage it when it is above ground and shooting. Now, when it shoots, it hits ground troops and air troops. That's absolutely crazy that it can hit both. The only other building I think that hits both is the Inferno Tower, and we all know how that works. It's like only hits one thing at a time. The Tesla, at the same level, can kill minions in one shot. That's absolutely crazy. And like I said, it goes underground. It's way more versatile right now than other options like the Cannon or the Tombstone. I would take the Tesla any day over the Cannon. It's a little bit more expensive, but it gives me so much more value. It can even stop a golem almost single-handedly one-on-one. I think it's just absolutely crazy. The Tesla, in my opinion, should not be a common. It should be a rare. Now, here we go into the last 4 cards of the video. We're going to go against, we're going to talk about these cards, that are going to be step downs in their rarity. So the first one is the Tombstone. It is a rare right now, but I think it should only be a common. It does not deserve to be on the same playing field as the other spawners. You look at the Furnace, the Goblin Hut, and the Barbarian Hut. They're all really good. They get you a ton of value, and they can stop something like the Hog Rider in its tracks, no problem. Plus, you look at the Furnace, the Barb Hut, and the Goblin Hut. All of their spawns can damage the tower. Those fire spirits can get to the tower and do a little bit of damage every time. Same with the goblin, the spear goblins, and the barbarians. If left untouched, they will do a little bit of damage to that arena tower. But the skeletons are absolutely useless. The only thing that Tombstone's really good for is maybe stopping like a prince or something, but Zap completely takes care of that, and very rarely is a Hog Rider or a Prince gonna be coming at you alone. They're gonna have Zap, they're gonna have a Dark Prince with it, they're gonna have a tank in front of it. That Tombstone is not going to stand a chance. I think as a little spawner, as a nice beginning card, it should be a common. It should be able to level up. You know, maybe you could get that over-level Tombstone to fight against Hog Riders. But as it stands right now, the Tombstone does not work very well in a lot of decks other than Lava Hound, Lava Loon, or some balloon decks. It's a very situational card. It does not work that great, and it doesn't have a very strong spot in the meta. So I would make the Tombstone a common. That doesn't make it weaker, it just makes it a little easier to play and kind of a lower skill card, I think, because it's easier to level up. And next on the list, I have Guards. Guards are an epic right now, and they might have seemed cool when they first came out, but at this point, all they are is basically like the equivalent of 3 goblins. that, you know, can survive a log, basically. Once you get rid of the shields, then they're weak. But they don't do that much damage. They can be shot by the arena towers very easily. And the only interaction where I could see them being super, like, good is against P.E.K.K.A. or Mini P.E.K.K.A. because they absorb up to 6 hits. But face it, like I said earlier, who puts a P.E.K.K.A. down and doesn't put anything behind it? So those archers, that E-Wiz, that Executioner that's helping out that P.E.K.K.A., it's going to take care of those guards no problem. And it's, you know, it's not that strong of a card. I think, so for me, I think the guard should be a rare. Now, not a common, because it is a little bit stronger than that. The shield thing does make it unique. So the card, I think, should be a rare. Like I said, it'll be a little bit easier to level up. It's going to be a little bit lower of a skill card because it's not going to be an epic, so more people are going to have access to it. It's going to be more of a free-to-play card, and you can request it. Instead of just once a week, you can request it 3 times a day. So that's going to make the guards, I think, a little bit better, and, you know, that's where they deserve to be, is that rare. They're not epic whatsoever. Like I said, when they came out, they were cool, but now we have the Dark Prince, also has a shield, and at the end of the day, the guards are nothing more than just goblins with shields. I know they're skeletons, but in terms of the damage, when they poke with their little spears, they're basically goblins. So, last 2 cards on the list, same thing as the guards. I have the Ice Wizard. Now, I think this is going to be the most controversial card on the list. The Ice Wizard is a legendary. He seemed cool when he first came out. He's one of the very first legendaries. He is not that great of a legendary. He's probably one of the worst legendaries that is out there. He could be a solid epic. I think if he gets demoted to epic, he would be really good, like right where he's at. Now, why would I say that? Because when he first came out, you know, the slowing down, the slow effect was kind of unique, but the Ice Golem and the Ice Spirit, they also do that. There's other cards that have come out that are way cooler, way more versatile than the Ice Wizard, that he, I think, is not as great as he once was, and there are so many legendaries in the game. One of them has got to go down and be an epic. Now, I also look at the other wizards as good examples of why I would support this decision. So if you look at the Electro Wizard, who is also a legendary, he zaps when he comes into the arena, so he actually has an effect when he comes in. He also stuns, and he can attack 2 things at once. So he's not really splash, but he can attack multiple targets. Now that makes him so unique that he deserves to be a legendary. The Ice Wizard, he has a little bit of splash, but he barely does any damage at all. He doesn't stun, and even before this recent buff, he couldn't kill skeletons in 1 hit. They finally fixed that because he was so weak. But then you also look at the Wizard, who is a rare. He has one unique thing about him. He does splash and does a lot of damage. That's it. Like the Ice Wizard does one thing. He slows it down and does a little bit of splash. Why is Ice Wizard a legendary when the Wizard is a rare? So I think at least the Ice Wizard could get knocked down to an epic. He's not that great of a legendary card. Now I know it's a controversial opinion, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you agree or disagree. But let me talk about this last card, and that is the Clone Spell. It is an epic right now, but just like the heal spell, I think it should be a rare. It's very, very situational. It's not in the meta. It does not work that great. It only works with like giant skeletons and balloons. And people try to clone at the last second to hit that last bomb from the balloon, or get close enough with that giant skeleton so that you get 2 death bombs. But that's it. There really is no other point for the clone to be versatile in the meta right now. Its only thing that it does when you level it up is it makes the clones a higher level. But it doesn't matter to me if I have level 13 archers or level 12 archers when they both have 1 hit point. So every opponent you're going to play has a spell. Let's just face it. People have spells. People have splash damage, tornado, anything is going to kill all those clones immediately because they only have 1 hit point. So it doesn't matter. You're going to clone everything and then it just gets arrowed. It gets zapped, it gets logged, it gets tornadoed, splashed. There's so many things that can kill it, no problem. That the clone spell is almost useless right now in the meta. So I think it's, instead of an epic, it should be a rare card just like the heal spell. They should be in the game because they're fun. They're high skill cards. People can use them. You can win with them. But I would just rather play other cards. Let's be honest. They're not that great, especially the clone spell. But that is it, guys. That is my list of 8 cards. The Royal Giant, Hog Rider, Tornado, and Tesla should all go up in rarity. And the Tombstone Guards, Ice Wizard, and Clone should all go down in rarity. So, of course, in the comments below, let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you have any other ideas of your own, other cards that you think should go up or down? There were a few that didn't make this list, like Zappies. Wasn't sure if that should be maybe an epic. Could it go up if it got buffed a little? Or could it go down to a common with the way it's at right now? Because it's not that good of a card, even after it got recently buffed. So, of course, like I said, let me know below. And if you liked this video, leave a thumbs up. And if you liked my new camera, if you like the high quality, please let me know. I want to see if you guys noticed it, if it's better than my little webcam. And, of course, for more Clash Royale, definitely subscribe to my channel. But that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.